All right, well, what do you say we jump into the game? Shall we? Start. Let's get into it, shall we? Oi. We ready for this, Ian? New game. Oh, that looks so cool. Let's do this. Adventure, detective, who won a candle for seeking a balanced experience. Yes, we are an adventurer. Northern Quebec, Canada. Oh.
I must take a moment today to thank the boldness of our government and our shareholders.
William Hamilton built his venture on the ashes of the Second World War.
Of course he did.
He envisioned was ransacking the First Nations' ancestral territories, drawing the wrath of the local people. It definitely took nerves of steel to stay the course, despite all this hostility. Before long, in the face of William Hamilton's cold and uncompromising stance, the petitions and peaceful protests turned into sabotage, vandalism, and other criminal acts. The industrialists' private properties also encountered the wrath of the demonstrations. Carl Faubert, a veteran of the Korean War, was hired from Montreal as a private detective to shed some light on this whole thing. But at the end of his long journey to northern Quebec, the detective did not only encounter property damage, he also came face to face with the corpse of William Hamilton. The strangeness only kept building throughout the investigation. A powerful, unseasonable blizzard hit the region. Bodies frozen in unbreakable ice appeared. The local fauna began to act strangely and aggressively. Carl Faubert began to doubt his own sanity. The detective felt the weight of a gaze, as if he were at the mercy of a powerful, feral creature waiting for the right moment to attack. Carl's fear was taking over, overpowering his reason. He was giving in to delirium. In that instant, he thought that the dark waters of the lake might shield him from the shapes that pursued him. From there, he had a renewed hope in civilization, or whatever was left of it.
Yo. This game oh yeah, this game looks good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude.
Carl knew that on one of these shores stood William Hamilton's lavish mansion. And there, the detective had hopes of finding a way out of the area.
Where were we left off?
Truck,
Oh yeah.
who knows? Under the luxurious paneling and damask carpets, he might be able to find answers to his questions.
Did they get a new narrator? This doesn't sound like the same narrator from the first game. Interesting.
The detective wondered about the floating debris. Had it drifted out from the shore, or had it been abandoned there in the middle of nowhere? Carl saw a boat in the distance, clearly piloted by one of his own. Had he finally made it to civilization? His hopes were immediately drowned out by the sound of gunshots. Time to flee again, and fast. Carl swam without a thought, yet each stroke was desperate. The icy water and his wounds made him feel weaker and weaker. He had to get to shore.
How's the audio so far, everybody? Kona II. Brume.
The bleeding and the hypothermia were tearing at Carl's poor body. When he finally saw a light in the distance, he was filled with a faint sense of hope. Could it be a refuge?
Much better. I can't tell if it's his heartbeat I hear in my ears or my own. Yo, look at the lighting. Did it look this good in the demo? I mean, like, dang, look at this. All right, let's see what we got here. Read time. Richard, we miss each other again. I slipped the money under the door. When you finished with the delivery, just leave the key in the gazebo. Same place as usual. Okay. I'll be gone for a few hours, but I will see you in front of the checkerboard. Be prepared to get your ass kicked. The delivery, just leave the key in the gazebo. Same place as always.
Once his injuries were treated, Carl suddenly felt very relaxed. A few hours of sleep would be just the ticket.
Be prepared to get your ass kicked. Yeah, quote it. Shelter.
Carl struggled to wake up. His makeshift bandages offered him little time. If he wanted to find the truth, he had to get to Hamilton Manor without delay.
Wait a minute. Good old camera.
Carl left his refuge, knowing that he was headed to a more comfortable, but otherwise ominous place. Hamilton's mansion.
Heck yeah. Let's check this out. But how have you been, my good man? Hopefully, everything is treating you well. Lots of stuff happens in life. Like the environments of this game. I know, right? It's really, well, it's set in Canada. It's in northern Quebec. Oh.
Out of all of the animals in Quebec's fauna, the wolf was perhaps Carl Faubert's favorite. Its nobility and beauty were matched only by its ferocity and intelligence. These stones came from a long time past, from a local people who had an organic relationship with these lands. Carl felt somewhat reassured by the construction. Black bears were by nature peaceful creatures. At least they were most of the time.
Nope.
Under threat, however, this large, cuddly-looking animal could turn into a frighteningly efficient killing machine.
Yeah, I ain't touching that. It's not following me, is he? No.
The security
Saturday
was more
Insight.
reminiscent
Nice.
of a Korean military base than a mining operation.
Gonna need a card. So that's where we go to the house. That sounds about right. Interesting.
Carl
Okay.
tried to
Oh.
put the horror into perspective. Accidents happen, and in the inhospitable far north, it happens more often than not. Nevertheless, a feeling of déjà vu stayed with him, as if the carnage was not over.
I know those buggies. Okay. Hopefully you're not unfortunate to be in a situation like this.
An
Hey, a
access
security card.
A rather modern piece of technology, especially for a mining complex in the far north. What could it possibly open?
Wait, do we seriously have the code to go up to the north already? Frozen on Sunday, October 4th, 17200. Okay.
The plan suggested that a package had to be retrieved not far away. Carl had to keep his eyes open.
Depot. Security, huh? So wait, do I seriously have the key card that'll let me through there? Do I want to go there? Wait a minute. That wasn't in the demo. The only place we could visit in the demo was the mansion. Can we actually visit this place now? There is no way. Yo, is this all we gotta do? This wasn't in the demo. At least I don't think it was.
A gas mask. Carl had tried out older models as an infantryman. He hardly saw the need for such equipment to protect against simple ore dust.
Med kit. All right. Okay. Got batteries for the flashlight. Man. Okay, so this is all that we can visit right here. I don't remember that being in the demo. Or was it? Halfway through the game. This wasn't in the demo. Wow, Tim. We played the demo like, what, 2-3 times? Radioactive material. Geiger counter.
What were these mysterious fragments? And why was there a warning about the Brume? This letter raised more questions than it answered for the detective.
To the Brume. Alright, whatever that is. Whatever that is, it's the title of the game, is what it is. So it seems like the Geiger counter, wherever the radiation is, it's in the direction of the mansion? Okay, then. Can I see my feet? Yes, I can see my feet. Dude, like the cloak is even extremely realistic, too. It's got physics. I leave footprints, tracks, and everything like that. Yeah, you can see your feet. You can see the flashlight on your chest, too. You can see your hands. Honestly, I feel like that's a pretty standard thing nowadays with gaming. Actually, maybe that's a good podcast. What is 10 things that is now just a common thing that people check for or expect to be in a game? Like a first-person game. One is see your feet. The Hamilton Estate. Assassin.
Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton Mining Corporation. Tenez-vous le plus loin possible de la faune. Les animaux sont devenus extrêmement agressifs. Je répète, tenez-vous le plus loin possible des animaux et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la HMC. Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial.
Outside in the ice. Yeah, no kidding.
Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton Mining Corporation. Tenez-vous le plus loin possible de la faune. Les animaux sont devenus extrêmement agressifs. Je répète, tenez-vous le plus loin possible des animaux et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton.
This was the mansion of the late William Hamilton. No doubt about it. There was no other rich industrialist in the area to have a sumptuous mansion built in the middle of nowhere. The locals despised Hamilton, as they were all perfectly aware of his shady dealings.
Dude, the way that it blurs out the background is awesome. All right,
This
well, we
letter,
know where we need to
found
go.
in the cabin, mentioned a gazebo. The key to the mansion would likely be there.
All right, through the front door we go. Well, we're back in. Now, let's get through this, shall we?
With all this chaos, Carl was sensing a hurried departure.
Wait, hold on. I should have a map of the inside, don't I? Yes, I do. All right, so we came in. Where's the entryway? Here? Yeah. The entryway was here. We came in, we couldn't get through here. We went through this area. That's where the fire is. And now we're in the kitchen area. And this area is blocked off. Well, this is like part of the kitchen. Here's the rest of the kitchen. We're bloody handprints.
Carl was overcome with a strange emotion. The crossword puzzle was in French, so he guessed it was the work of a Hamilton employee and not Hamilton himself. Carl was overcome with a strange emotion. The crossword puzzle was
I
in
hit it again.
French,
Meh.
so he guessed it was the work of a Hamilton employee and not Hamilton himself.
So.
From a simple case of vandalism to a mysterious murder, Carl found himself right in the middle of a battlefield. What could possibly await him now?
I think good, that's what. Must be sweet. It is. It's honestly a pretty cool place. So. 91. All right.
Added to the mayhem was violence. Carl understood that a tragedy had occurred here. Carl could not decide which was more frightening, the mysterious impulse the inhabitants had to escape, or the inexplicable way in which their escape was interrupted.
Yeah, no kidding. Hello. You'll have to go down and check all that stuff out here pretty soon. I know that that's going on.
Could feel his muscles weakening, his breath wheezing, his body going numb. What was happening to him? The floor was rocking. The walls seemed to be running from Carl's hands as he tried to steady himself. Something was not right. Carl's thoughts were twisting in his head, making him dizzy.
Wendigo? Here? So the Wendigo is here too, going after Carlton? Or Hamilton? Alright, let's take a second to check out these outdoor areas.
Faced with the issue of an empty tank, Carl had to find fuel. Yeah, we're honestly moving through this pretty quick. We should be able to get to the part and maybe a little bit past the part that ends in the demo. Remember in the demo, Yin, where we kind of go through the library with that globe, and then we go through like a little bit like a trophy room, and then it like all of a sudden ends.
That's where the demo ended. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting to that same spot here soon. Honestly, the way this looks is just absolutely creepy, but it looks amazing too. Don's Rum. Isn't that the song from the first game? It is.
Carl knew how eccentric older millionaires could be, with more money than they know how to spend it. But never could he have imagined such a sophisticated puzzle. Carl Faubert made a profession out of reconstructing a whole from seemingly incongruous parts. This reconstructed globe forced him to recognize how much more complex the mystery that was currently plaguing Manistan was in comparison.
Probably skip that whole read. Well, probably. The thing is, I just know that this is technically a little bit vital to some of the plot here. Love letter from Catherine. Or Cynthia. Not Catherine, Cynthia. So yeah, the whole affair and whatnot. Special key.
Seeing the condition of the ceiling, Carl was startled. Nothing human could cause such devastation.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that'd be perfect. All right, there we go.
The material damage now seemed quite benign in the face of everything that had happened since his arrival.
So wait, there's the special key. Which is not for this door. Okay, so we do have to go around. All right, well, here we go, gang. This is where the demo ends, so this is where we get to step into all new territory.
Carl was struggling to move forward. His feet could hardly find their way in front of him. He doesn't know which way he came from or the way he's going. Everything seems to be going in a circle, a spiral carrying him. He doesn't know where or how.
Here we go.